All right, folks. Today is day 12 of the 22 for 22 challenge. Um, Today I wanted to give a sort of a mixed message to both the veterans and people who are not. And when I say veterans, I mean of the service, any kind of service, Coast Guard, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Army. If you've served or are serving, this message is for you. Now, I understand that things can be difficult. I've been there, spent 9 years trying to figure out what I was doing, but I finally found it. And because of that, I've been pretty happy with my life so far. And I just wanted veterans to know that, you got a long way to go. If you want to change, do it. There's nothing holding you back. A friend of mine on Facebook here commonly has problems with family. I often talk about family. And they say that you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. And I say that is BS. I did it. I have one of the world's largest families because I decided. If your family isn't working out for you, change it. Go find new family. If your job isn't working out for you, change it. I love my job now, but earlier this year I was working for a company that I hated. And I thought I had to stick it out. Had to go in carrying my hat in my hand every day. I was prepared to do it for 20 years. And then one day I just had enough and I changed it. I left that job that day. I was out of work for a while, but we're getting by. So even if you're 40 like me, you still got a long way to go and you can change it. If you're 82, who knows how long you got to go? You can still change it. Make sure that you are happy. You can't worry about everybody else. Worry about yourself first. Caregivers, in the same note, if your veteran is going through these kinds of changes, stick with them. I understand it can be difficult. I know I've been a complete ass to my wife more times than I can count. And she's stuck with me, which makes her one of the most wonderful women in the world, ever. I always compare our love to Nancy and Reagan's, because, Nancy had to put up with dementia. She stuck through just things I can't even imagine. That kind of support, that kind of love is what these veterans all need. We just need a little bit of help. If you're a friend out there, let them know. Say, hey man, I'm here to support you. I'll help with whatever it is that you need. You need a place to crash? Here's my couch. And honestly, I'd do that for any of my ginormous family. Just make sure that your life is happy. And we won't be facing this crazy suicide problem in the way that we are now. A friend of mine I met 10 years ago, name of Paul Delacard. He's now in a band called Vetted, which you may have heard. But he didn't start that way. I met him in Mexico shortly after he got out. Well, I guess he had been out for a little bit. But he was working as a production manager or whatever. He was not in the band. He was a hell of a drummer, but I could tell he was still 100% killer. And he made that change. And he started doing things to help us, the veteran community, by providing us with countless hours of music, by providing all of the other people awareness of what our lives are like. I'd also like to mention the Living Things. I believe they are all veterans too, but both Vetted and the Living Things are phenomenal bands. Check them out. Because of Paul, I also have another friend on here, Shannon Brooke, who's in that same band. I guarantee he wasn't thinking he was going to be a rock and roll star the day he got out of the Army. Or, I think he was Marines? Not 100% sure. Anyways, the point is, you can make the change. You just have to do it. If you find yourself unhappy, make the change. And, you can always hit that button up there that has my picture. Talk to me about it. I'm a pretty logical guy. I could probably suggest, ways that you can make these changes without having to do, 9 years of unemployment and trying to figure out what the heck you wanted to do. The other thing that I really wanted to get to was something I forgot about yesterday. Yesterday I was obviously extremely busy, and I forgot to do my math. By the VA's 22 number, which, again, I think is completely flawed, the number is much higher. But by those numbers, yesterday, for this year alone, the suicide rate of veterans doubled the amount of people who died on 9/11. Doubled it. We've done it for 10 years. We're well over double every year. Every year, it's more than 6,000 veterans. More than 6,000 veterans. That's the size of some small towns. Can you imagine towns just disappearing off the face of the earth? People would be in an uproar. Why are you not in an uproar about us? We're the ones that are going out there and putting our butts on the line because we want to protect you. Now it's your turn. Write your congressman. Write your senators. Write your president. Write every politician who will put an email out. The link is right there. All it needs is one line that says, veteran suicide is unacceptable. Please help. It is unacceptable. 6,028 today by the VA's number. By my number, 25, it was way earlier this year. Since I started this challenge, today's number will be 300. 300 in 12 days. Please help. Click the link, write those emails. Click the picture, send me a message. Don't give me any likes. I don't care about that. Hit that share button down there. Let everyone know. We're suffering through 9/11 twice every year. Every year! Twice! Do you remember what you felt like on 9/11? Oh, you were the best American then, weren't you? Be the best American now. Help stop our genocide. Let's do some push-ups. I did 30 today to mark the landmark of over 6,000 veterans dying this year. Please, please help us.